Hello friends, in this video I will be talking on the most important thing in the development of world, and it is none other than automobile. And in this video I will give an emphasis on types of automobile. Around us we see the different types of vehicles moving from one location to another, like you see in the picture: trucks, buses, cars, bikes, vans, etc. See, those are the vehicles, means there are some important types of the vehicles, and we will discuss more types in detail. So let's begin. The learning outcome of this video is to study the various parameters to classify automobiles, as well as to study different types of automobile based on their different parameters. So the first classification is based on the purpose. What is the purpose of the vehicle? Based on that, we have the two classification. The first one is the passenger vehicles. So passenger vehicles are the vehicles which we use to carry the passengers, means the people. So the well known is car, and the second one is the van. Now it's very obvious that the car will carry the less passenger than the van, so it depends on the size of the car. So it's like the capacity, so van is having a high capacity to carry the passenger than the car. Now the bus, this is also the passenger vehicles, this which carries the passenger more in number. So capacity of the bus to carry the passenger is much larger than the car and the van. The next is the goods carrier, means these are the vehicles which we use to carry the goods. So in that we have the mini truck. So this one is from Ashok Leyland. Then we have the truck, and then last one is the trailer. So capacity of these vehicles to carry the good is increasing from the mini truck to the truck to the trailer. Now let's move on to the second classification, which is based on the fuel use. Now we are very much aware that most of the vehicles which we see most commonly runs on the fuel, which are the petrol and the diesel. So petrol vehicles are nothing but the vehicles which runs on the petrol fuel. So most of the sports car, like you see here, this is from Aston Martin, it's a DB9. In most of the James Bond movie, this is what the car which Bond used to drive. So this is a sports car. Another one is this Dodge Challenger. This is another sports car. Then the more popular Lamborghini. From Lamborghini, this one is Aventador. And so let's talk about the sports car which we have seen. Few of the sports car I have shown here. So sports cars main purpose is to run at a higher speed, and the petrol engines are the engine which are the high speed engine. So most of the sports car, almost all the sports car runs on the petrol. Then we see the regular cars which comes in two variants, petrol as well as diesel. So few cars of the same model may have the two variants. One is a petrol variant and second one will be the diesel variant. So this one is the Swift from the Maruti Suzuki. Then this is an Activa from Honda. This runs on the petrol. Then the bike, by the way, this category of the vehicle we call it as mopeds, and this category of the vehicle we call it as bike. So both the moped and the bike runs on the petrol. So up till now we have seen the cars, bikes and the mopeds which runs on the petrol. Now diesel vehicles are the vehicle which runs on the diesel. They use diesel as a fuel for the engine. So the buses, trucks, as I told you, some cars comes in two variants. So this is the Swift one again, but in a diesel variant. So the bus, trucks and some of the cars comes with the diesel engine, but trucks and the buses who are having a large capacity to carry the passengers more in number or to carry the goods higher in capacity, they must have the high capacity engine, high power engine, and the diesel engine is the high power engine as compared to the petrol engine. So most of these big vehicles like bus and the trucks, they are having diesel engine, so they are coming under the category of diesel vehicle. Now electric vehicle. So yeah, this is what the most recent kind of a vehicle where technological advancement is ongoing, research is ongoing in this kind of a vehicle, and these vehicles runs on the battery, and we need to charge the battery, and then this vehicle can run by the battery with the help of motor in it. So this one is the Mahindra's e-Verito. This is only the picture of e-Verito, but I would like to tell you that E2O Plus is also another car by the Mahindra, which is coming in the electric vehicle category. Also e-Supro is electric van, and Trio, e-Alpha, these are the mini rickshaws by the Mahindra. Then the Tata Nexon, this Tata Tigor which you see in the picture, these are the electric cars by the Tata. In that Tata Nexon has a range of around 312 kilometer. So here the range means the mileage, it's kind of a mileage. If you charge your battery fully, so how much kilometer your vehicle will go in the single charge. And here the Tata Nexon can go 320 kilometer in a one charge, and that's what we call it as a range of that car. So Tata Nexon's battery gets fully charged around 8.5 hours if we charge it by a regular charging port of 15 ampere. But if we charge the battery via fast charging port, then it gets fully charged in 1 hour, so it's great. Then the Tesla, which is formerly known as the Tesla Motors, is an American electric vehicle and clean energy company based in California. The Tesla Model S is an all-electric 5-door liftback sedan produced by the Tesla, obviously. The Tesla Model S was the top-selling plug-in electric car worldwide in 2015 and 2016. Now you see in the picture, it's a electric bus which is manufactured by the Electras Green Tech Limited company, and this company is a pioneer in electric buses in India. So specifically this bus runs in Pune city in Maharashtra, that is in India. Now this one is Bajaj Chetak electric scooter. I would like to tell you one unique feature of the scooter is the reverse gear. The reverse mode which lets you ride back out of a tight parking with a breeze. And the next one is RV400 by Revolt Motors. This is the India's first artificial intelligence enabled bike which gets charged 100% in less than 5 hours. So all those were the electric vehicles which runs on the battery, which are, so we can call them as the eco-friendly vehicles. Next is hybrid vehicle. So basically hybrid vehicle means a vehicle which runs on the more than two fuels. Means source of energy is not the only one, but the source of energy are two. So like some petrol cars runs on the LPG also, so we can call them as a hybrid vehicle. So let's see an example. So this is from Mitsubishi Outlander. So this is the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, that is PHEV. So let's talk about this a little more. So this hybrid vehicle gets its energy simultaneously from the gasoline engine. Gasoline is nothing but the petrol. So it gets the energy from the gasoline engine and an electric motor. So here you can see the source of energy are the petrol and the electricity. The engine and the motor works together to power the car. This helps to increase the fuel economy ratings. Then the engine also uses gasoline to help recharge the vehicle's battery, which powers the electric motor. So battery is getting charged by running the an engine. So engine will act as a generator here. A plug-in hybrid vehicle like this Outlander also uses a gasoline engine and electric motor, but in a different way. The plug-in hybrid runs primarily using its electric motor powered by the battery. A plug-in hybrid won't tap into gas tank until the battery runs out of power. Instead of electric motor and the engine working together at the same time, the plug-in hybrid uses its engine as a backup plan. The distance you can travel before this happens is often called as vehicle's all-electric range. Once the battery runs out of power, it has to be charged using a plug-in electric charger. In some of the plug-in hybrid, the engine does not recharge a battery. But here in the Outlander, the engine recharges the battery. If you want some more information related to this Outlander PHEV, I have provided a link in the description box. You can check it. This is another from a Toyota. It's a Prius, a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Here with the, so you can see onto the bonnet and the roof the solar panels, solar cells are placed, so the battery can get charged by using the solar energy. Now the third classification is based on the capacity. So two-wheeler, small capacity vehicle, only 2% can sit on it. Then three-wheeler, like auto rickshaw, 3 passenger plus driver can sit in auto rickshaw. means this is the classification based on the capacity. This is not a classification based on the number of wheels. Okay, so take a note of it. It is a, we are discussing the classification based on the capacity, not classification based on the wheels. Four-wheeler comes in four-wheeler category. What comes is the passenger cars, or we call them as light motor vehicle also. So this is Maruti Swift again, which is one of the passenger cars. So capacity wise, its capacity is more than the auto rickshaw. Then we have the big capacity vehicles, which we are also call them as commercial vehicles. So commercial vehicle is any type of motor vehicle used for transporting the goods or paying the passengers, right? Light commercial vehicles are motor vehicles with at least four wheels used for carriage of goods. Uh, Most probably, the limit depends on the national and the professional definitions, and it varies between 3.5 to 7 tons. The minibuses derived from light commercial vehicles are used for the transport of passengers, comprising more than 8 seats in addition to the driver's seat and having a maximum gross weight between 3.5 to 7 tons. So, light commercial vehicles are the vehicles which are having the maximum gross weight between 3.5 up to 7 tons, like this Tata 407 and Ashok Leyland, those plus. These are the light commercial vehicles. Then heavy commercial vehicle means any vehicle which is constructed for carriage of goods and has maximum gross weight exceeding 7.5 tons. And you see in the picture, trucks and the buses comes under the category of this heavy commercial vehicle. However, the truck carries the goods and the buses carries the passenger commercially. Now the fourth classification of a car is based on the body type. So the first type is coupe. So technically a coupe is defined as a fixed top car with less than 33 cubic feet of rear interior volume. Typically a car with less than 33 cubic feet of rear interior volume has only two doors, as you see in the picture. Hence the common practice of associating two doors with the term coupe. So in short, coupe is the type of a car which is having the sitting capacity of 2. It has two doors, one to the right and other to the left. The next type of car based on the body type is sedan. So we look at that picture later on. First look at this. So this is Swift Desire. So it is a passenger car with 4 doors and a separate trunk, and this is what the trunk which we saw earlier. A trunk is a fully enclosed cargo hold separated from the passenger compartment by the rear seat bag and the immovable package tray below the rear window. The next is the hatchback. Hatchbacks are having either 2 or 4 doors. Here you can see the hatchback cars, 2 or 4 doors and one piece flip up tailgate, which you see here. The tailgate is you can flip it up, and this is what called as a hatch, and hence this kind of car which is having the flip up tailgate, this comes under the category of hatchback. So you see the Maruti Suzuki Celerio, then Hyundai Santro, Renault Kwid, Tata Tigor, Maruti Suzuki Alto, much more comes under this category. I have shown you the few of them. So this was a classification based on the body type. One more is there, and it is called as SUVs, that is sport utility vehicle. The big difference in this SUV is the ground clearance. So what is the ground clearance? Ground clearance is nothing but the distance of the lowest portion of the frame or the body of the car to the ground, the distance between the lowest portion of the frame or the body of the car from the ground. So SUVs are generally designed for riding on the road or off the road scenario or situations. So hence they are provided with the higher ground clearance, so we can drive these vehicles under the off-road conditions where the road is having huge rocks on it. So this is the Scorpio from the Mahindra, then this is Tata Harrier, then Maruti's Brezza, then Fortuner from the Toyota, Creta from Hyundai, then this Endeavour from the Ford. So these are the few SUVs, most popular SUVs in India. So lot many types are ahead for a discussion as far as the classification of the vehicles or automobiles are concerned. So that few more classification we will discuss in the part 2 of this video. So till then, goodbye.